All right, friends, this is day 14, and we are in James chapter 5, verses 7 through 12. It kind of breaks up into two nice little sections. Verse 12 is its own kind of little deal. James is quoting Jesus pretty much directly from the Sermon on the Mount. I'm not going to deal with that so much, but it's about being someone who's not duplicitous, who says what they mean and stands by, whose word means something. I'll let you read that. Then you look at this first part, though, 7 through 11, and let's sit in that for just a minute. You've likely heard the phrase that patience is a virtue. This is one of the passages that teaches us that. Be patient, therefore, brothers and sisters, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruits of the earth, being patient about it until it receives the earthly and the late rains? You also be patient. I'm saying that patience is important. I mean, we sang the song in Cornerstone not long ago called Seasons by Hillsong United. It's a beautiful picture of what it means to wait on the Lord, and it ties in with the rhythms of nature. I'd encourage you to go and listen to it. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is at hand. This idea of establishing our hearts, there's something that needs to be done in our hearts, something that needs to be done inside of us. Do not grumble against one another, brothers and sisters, so that you may not be judged. Behold, the judge is standing at the door. As an example of suffering and patience, brothers, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. Behold, we consider those blessed who remain steadfast. I'm going to come back to that. You have heard of the steadfastness of Job, and you have seen the purpose of the Lord, how the Lord is compassionate and merciful. I'll tell you, this verse 11, the first part, hit me yesterday like, I honestly, I don't really remember this verse sticking out before. It has hit me like a ton of bricks this time. Behold, we consider those blessed who remain steadfast. He's saying, look at the old prophets. Look at people like Job. Look at those who have come before us. And we consider them blessed. But you know what else we consider them? They were steadfast. They remained faithful. They stuck it out. And perhaps as I'm reading through this, what I'm considering is that perhaps what James is pointing towards is that there is a connection between their blessedness and their steadfastness. We consider those blessed who remained steadfast. I wonder how often I am too quick to move on, too quick to expect an immediate return, too anxious or too busy to stay settled in one place, to sit and to be patient. What James seems to be pointing towards is that patience is important. It's not just important to be patient with other people. It's not just important to be patient in traffic. But the patience is a virtue, because patience is something that allows us to more fully experience the goodness of who God is. And somebody say one time at a little seminar that I was at, talking to pastors, he said, Isaiah tells us that strength comes to those who wait upon the Lord. How long has it been since you've waited for 15 minutes for Jesus to show up? These were pastors in the room, and you could hear it audible, like, oh, this is challenging me to say. Not that I need to be more patient with my kids and in traffic, though those things are certainly true. But that perhaps what I'm also being led towards, and maybe you are too, is patience in waiting on the Lord. What I immediately go towards is patience in waiting on like the season to change for that thing that I've been hoping for to come. I think that's true. But I think that it's also true just in the small moments. Taking a little bit of time each day just to sit in silence, to be patient, to wait. And that kind of patience is a virtue, not just because it allows us to be more patient with and bless other people, but because it's in that patience, that steadfastness, the Lord can bless us in that place also. The steadfastness of staying with the Bible reading plan, the steadfastness of staying with God in prayer, the steadfastness of continuing to love and to serve other people. Perhaps there's a connection between us experiencing God's blessings and us being patient and steadfast. God bless you, friend. We're going to wrap this up tomorrow.